The deep spiritual truths in Jesus' parables. Welcome to a journey that takes us through the rich layers of meaning embedded in the parables of Jesus. These ancient yet timeless teachings have continued to resonate with people across different cultures and generations. But what exactly gives these stories such profound depth? Today, we delve into why Jesus' parables reveal deep spiritual truths and continue to impact our lives. To understand the significance of Jesus' use of parables, it is important to recognize their purpose. Jesus employed parables as teaching tools not because he wanted to obscure his message, but to reveal divine truths about God's kingdom through familiar, relatable stories. By employing this method, Jesus engaged his audience in a dynamic process of discovery, urging them to move beyond the surface and seek deeper understanding. Our journey into the world of Jesus' parables begins with the context provided by the Gospel of Matthew 13:10-17. In this scripture passage, the disciples ask Jesus why he speaks to the people in parables. Jesus reveals that the parables are meant to convey truths to those who are open and receptive, while concealing them from those who are not spiritually attuned. This creates an invitation for a deeper engagement with his teachings. Parables are more than metaphors. They are powerful illustrative tools used by Jesus to communicate complex spiritual realities in ways that touch the human heart. By using stories centered around everyday life, such as sowing seeds, harvesting, and lost coins, Jesus effectively bridged the physical and spiritual worlds. This clever use of familiar scenarios allowed his teachings to be both accessible and challenging. One remarkable aspect of parables is their ability to convey multiple layers of meaning. On the surface, a parable might tell a simple story, but hidden within it are profound spiritual lessons. This dual nature invites reflection and introspection, prompting listeners to peel back the layers to discover the truths hidden beneath. Parables challenge us to engage our minds and hearts in a search for understanding, urging us to see beyond the obvious. The spiritual truths contained within parables are not immediately evident to everyone. Instead, they require a level of spiritual attunement, an open heart, and a receptive mind. Jesus deliberately structured his parables in such a way that those who were genuinely seeking understanding would perceive the deeper meanings, while those uninterested might miss the essence. This spiritual attunement is key to unlocking the full richness of Jesus' teachings. Jesus' parables served as catalysts for testing and expanding the understanding of his disciples and followers. Through these stories, he gauged their comprehension and prompted them to think more deeply about the nature of God's kingdom. By placing his disciples in situations where they had to discern the meaning of the parables, Jesus fostered a deeper spiritual exploration, nurturing their growth and comprehension. Parables not only unveil divine truths, but also serve as mirrors reflecting human nature. Through these stories, Jesus illuminated the thoughts, behaviors, and attitudes prevalent in society, helping his listeners to consider their own lives and priorities. In the parable of the Good Samaritan, for example, Jesus challenges us to reconsider our notions of neighborliness and compassion, forcing us to confront the biases and barriers within our own hearts. Beyond reflection, parables actively encourage spiritual growth and transformation. By presenting moral and spiritual dilemmas within the narratives, Jesus invited listeners to assess their values and take actionable steps towards personal growth. Parables like the prodigal son inspire acts of forgiveness and reconciliation, while the parable of the talents urges us to make use of our God-given gifts responsibly. Speaking in parables was not merely a stylistic choice for Jesus, it also fulfilled ancient prophecies, underscoring his role as the Messiah. By employing parables, he continued the tradition of the prophets, who often used vivid allegories to convey God's message. This connection enriched the understanding of his audience, reinforcing the authenticity of his teachings and the continuity of the divine message. Perhaps one of the most outstanding qualities of Jesus' parables is their timelessness. These stories transcend the cultural, historical, and social contexts in which they were originally given, remaining profoundly relevant even in contemporary spiritual contexts. This ability to speak across ages and cultures highlights the universal appeal of the truths embedded in Jesus' words. As we explore the teachings within Jesus' parables, we invite you to embark on this journey of discovery and reflection. These narratives are not just ancient texts to be examined, but lessons to be lived and experienced. We encourage you to reflect on the messages conveyed through these stories and consider how they can be applied to your own life. In conclusion, the power and enduring relevance of Jesus' parables lie in their ability to reveal deep spiritual truths through relatable narratives. By urging listeners to look beyond the surface, these stories invite personal reflection and spiritual growth. They remain a testament to Jesus' divine wisdom and insight, offering timeless guidance for those who seek to understand the mysteries of God's kingdom. As you continue to explore and interpret the parables of Jesus, may you find inspiration and transformation in their teachings, allowing them to illuminate your path and enrich your spiritual journey. Thank you for joining us in uncovering the profound spiritual truths within Jesus' enduring parables.